Every single person in this room, every person watching or listening, at some point you've wondered, what is the secret to success? Is it talent? Is it education? Is it having the right connections? Or is it something else, something deeper? Let me tell you a truth that I have learned, not from books, but from life itself. Success does not come from what we want. It comes from what we do consistently. The habit that makes a person successful is not loud, it's not dramatic, and it's certainly not something that always feels exciting. It is often quiet, often unnoticed, but it is there every day, guiding our choices, building our character, and shaping our destiny. Consistency, that is the habit. The one habit that slowly, silently, and surely transforms your life. We live in a world where instant results are celebrated, where people want quick fame, quick money, quick success. But anything that comes quickly, without effort, without struggle, often fades just as fast. True success, meaningful success, is built slowly, like a sculpture carved from stone, one small strike at a time. And the tool that sculpts it is consistency. You don't need to make huge leaps every day. You don't need to impress the world overnight. All you need is to wake up and make a decision that today, I will try. And then repeat that tomorrow, and the day after that. Even if no one sees your effort, even if you're not getting recognition, even if the progress feels painfully slow, let me tell you something from my own journey. There were days, many days, when it felt like nothing was moving forward, when I would sit in silence and wonder, is this all worth it? There were nights when tears were my only companion, when pain spoke louder than hope. But every morning, I made a small promise to myself. Just one more step. And I took it. Some days those steps were strong and full of purpose. Other days they were shaky, hesitant. But they were steps nonetheless. Success is not about being the fastest. It's about being the one who refuses to quit. There is power in repetition. There is beauty in showing up even when you don't feel ready, even when your heart is broken, even when your spirit is tired. That is where character is built. That is where strength is found. That is where success begins, not with applause, but with silent dedication. When people look at someone successful, they often see the results, they see the achievements, the awards, the spotlight. What they don't see are the early mornings and the late nights, the sacrifices, the rejections, the failures. They don't see the lonely paths walked when no one was cheering. They don't see the quiet moments of doubt or the days when nothing seemed to go right. But all those invisible moments matter. Every little decision you make adds up. Every time you choose to stay disciplined, every time you choose to learn instead of complain, to work instead of wait, to rise instead of retreat, you are building something extraordinary. And let me say this, consistency does not mean perfection. You will fall. You will have bad days. You will mess up. That's okay. You're human. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to keep going, to get up one more time, to try one more time, to believe in yourself, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. Think about a tree, a tall, beautiful, strong tree. It didn't grow overnight. Its roots dug deep into the earth, little by little. The branches stretched slowly toward the sun. Days it stood in storms. Some days it bathed in sunlight. But it kept growing, quietly, consistently. That's what success looks like. It's not always glamorous, but it's real, and it lasts. And I want to say this to anyone who feels like their efforts are going unnoticed. To anyone who feels invisible right now, please know this. Your hard work is not invisible to the universe. Every effort you make, every act of discipline, every small win It's all adding up. Even if you can't see the results yet, trust that they are coming. Sometimes we wait for motivation to act, but motivation is like the wind. It comes and goes. You cannot rely on it. What you can rely on is discipline. And that comes from habit. And habits come from small, repeated actions, day after day. That is the secret. That is the foundation of real success. You might be facing challenges right now. You might be dealing with situations that feel impossible, and I understand that deeply. But I want to remind you, even in the middle of your struggles, you have the power to take one small step, to make one small improvement. That's all it takes, and that is enough. Remember, it is not the loudest person in the room who wins. It's the one who doesn't stop showing up, who builds not for the moment, but for the future, who understands that consistency is more powerful than intensity, that a gentle stream with time can carve through mountains. So ask yourself, not how big are my dreams, but how strong are my habits? Because it is not what you wish for that shapes your life. It is what you do again and again and again. And in that doing, in that beautiful, steady rhythm, you become someone you're proud of. Not because the world said you were successful, but because you know you earned it. People often come to me with a question that sounds simple on the surface, but carries so much depth underneath. They ask, what's the secret to success? And every time I hear it, I pause, not because I don't know the answer, but because I know the answer is not what people expect. It's not found in a formula, not locked away in some motivational book or hidden in someone else's story. The truth is, success is personal. It's intimate. And more than anything, it is rooted in the relationship you have with yourself. The habit that makes you successful is not just about waking up early, setting goals, or staying productive. It's about developing the habit of never giving up on yourself, the habit of believing in your worth, even when life tries to convince you otherwise. Because there will be days, many of them, when the world will be loud with doubt, when voices around you and sometimes within you will say, you're not enough. On those days, you will need to become your own anchor, your own light, your own home. The habit of not giving up on yourself isn't loud, it doesn't shout, it whispers in the dark. It speaks gently when everything else feels heavy. It says, you've made it through worse, you can get through this too. It's the habit of showing compassion to your own soul. The habit of being kind to yourself when life has been anything but kind. It's easy to believe in yourself when things are going well, when you're winning, when you're being celebrated. But the real test, the true test, comes in silence. It comes when the stage is empty, when the applause is faded, and all you're left with is you. That's where your strength is measured. That's where your habits are formed, not in the spotlight, but in the shadows. Not in moments of victory, but in moments of vulnerability. There will be days when your dreams feel far away, when the weight of disappointment sits heavy on your shoulders. Days when you try your best and still fall short. You will be tempted to walk away, to settle, to silence your own voice just to make life easier. But those are the moments when you must hold yourself closer, when you must say, no, not today. I won't give up on myself today. Success isn't about having all the answers. It's about staying in the questions long enough to grow through them. It's about showing up, not perfectly, but faithfully. It's about carrying your scars with pride and saying, this is who I am. This is where I've been, and I'm still standing. One of the strongest habits you can ever build is learning how to stand back up again and again. Not because someone told you to, but because deep down you know your story isn't finished yet. And it never is, as long as you keep writing it. Sometimes people think success means never falling, but that's not true. Success means falling 100 times and still finding the courage to rise on the 101st. Every time you fall and get back up, you're not starting over. You're starting stronger, with more resilience, with more understanding of who you are and what you're capable of. You see, people are always looking for external signs, status, validation, numbers, applause. But the real signs of success are internal. The quiet confidence, the peaceful heart, the unwavering faith in yourself, even when there's no evidence things are working out. That's the kind of success no one can take from you. We often wait for motivation to move us. We say, I'll start when I feel ready. But motivation is temporary. It's a feeling. It rises and falls like the tide. But what lasts is discipline. And discipline is built on love. Yes, love. The kind of love that says, I care about my future enough to keep going, even when I don't feel like it. That's the habit, that's the commitment. That's a choice you make. Every single day. It doesn't matter how slowly you move, as long as you don't stop. The pace doesn't define the progress. The effort does. And some days, effort looks like big wins, and some days it looks like simply getting out of bed. Both are valid. Both are part of your journey. You will meet people along the way who won't understand your path, who may doubt you, question your decisions, or even laugh at your dreams, and that's okay. Because your journey is not meant to make sense to everyone, it's meant to make sense to you. And the habit that makes you successful is trusting that inner voice that tells you, keep going. You are not done yet. When you choose not to give up on yourself, you're not only building your future, you're healing your past, you're rewriting the story that says, you're not good enough,